Good morning, adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. I am still a little bit tired. I am so overwhelmingly tired, even though I slept super well last night. For those who are just joining me and have no idea what I'm talking about, last night I slept at a Walmart in Butte, Montana. But along the way, there were some crazy things that happened as I traveled from Bozeman to Butte, including I had to lock down my brakes and turn so I would not hit a deer. And in doing so, I tossed my van, including this guy, this little power bank, which would not be a big deal because it clearly still works. But the problem is it was attached to my lights, and now my lights are having problems. I've had these lights for like 3 years here in the van, and I love them. Normally, they come down into this guy right here, and this is what plugs in, and then you just turn it off and on. However, this was plugged in, and then it shot off of this shelf and into the floor, and it was still attached to this, so it somehow dislodged something in this part, and so now there's a short, so I don't feel comfortable plugging them in. And even if I did plug them in, they're not gonna work, so it's fine. I'm gonna have to cut them down eventually because I have them zip tied up. However, I'm not wanting to do that at this moment, so I'm just gonna leave them be because it's just a pain that I do not want to deal with at this second. There's too many other things, but I did kind of solve temporarily the light situation. You can see it's bright in here. It's still dark if I were to turn off this light. I have my light that I bought up in Branson, Missouri, the little strip light. The problem with it is it tends to not last very long, so I have to plug it in to this power bank. They're the same. The difference is this one has a little plug that I can actually use, and so I just keep this cord attached to it so that I can plug this light in whenever I need to. And so I have power, I have light, and then I also have this little backup light that my dad gave me, and I was originally going to mount it because it has Velcro and I could just put it in a place. I haven't done that yet, but I need to get some new batteries if I am going to use it. It's just a little light switch. They have these at like Dollar Tree and other places. You just turn it on. The issue with this is I can tell that the batteries are starting to get a little bit weaker because it fades after it's been on for a while. So today I need to possibly figure out where I can get some batteries. Maybe look at some new overhead lights. I'm not sure. I got these from Amazon. I don't want to drop ship something to myself from Amazon to a random drop box. So I may just put that off and just get by until I get back to base camp, whenever that is. But I have power, so that's what matters, right? Sunburn update. It is a bit better. This side was really red too. This side was. They're not red now. The only thing that's super red is like right here, which makes sense because that's like the new skin on my head. It doesn't get seen as often. So I'm gonna put some more skincare on this morning. I'm gonna put on some sunscreen, and then I am gonna hit the road and do an office day because I am tired, and I have like 7 or 8 videos that I need to download. So I need to download so I can upload, so then I can go and have some fun with my friends. Okay, these come down. Okay, almost ready, and I just have a couple more things to do. I think today I want to be kind of nostalgic with the song, and there's been a song that's kind of been rotating through my playlist that I think needs to go on the playlist, and I think that is Eclipse by John Denver today. I have been hearing that as I've been going through the beautiful canyons and mountains, and every time I hear it, it just makes me like really calm. And I think today I need to be really calm. So Eclipse by John Denver is my song today, and I'll add that to my playlist so that it's a little nugget of joy every time I stumble across it on my official playlist. So I've got that taken care of. Now I just need to map a Starbucks, which I think is right down this road and across like or under the highway, and then on the other side. I know there's 2, and I think one's is a Safeway, which we don't go to those, and one's a freestanding, which we go to those because they have the ability for us to work. I also need to load one of my gift cards onto my Starbucks app, but I got logged out of my Starbucks app somehow, so I have to figure that out. Oh, the weird things that you don't think about. Of course, for my Starbucks, what I do is every time I scan my receipts into Fetch, you can turn them into different kinds of gift cards. So I turn those into Starbucks because that way I don't have to be out of pocket my office days. We love that. I'm already spending the money on gas and groceries and stuff that I have to get, so why not turn that into something positive that I can then use for my work days? So yeah, I gotta figure out how to log into my Starbucks app. This could take a minute. Okay, figured that out. Making myself fancy and civilized, aka just putting myself together. And I'm not gonna do this to my hair, don't worry. Instead, I'm just going to comb it all forward and let it chill and not do too much to it today because all I'm doing is sitting at a Starbucks. Well, almost ready. Let's take care of this. Also, I have 2 more patches that I need to put up at some point during the day. So maybe that will be a task I can do. I picked up one at the Elk Refuge and one at Grand Teton, and then I already had mine from Yellowstone that I picked up in advance, so those are all good. I am loving the patches. They're bringing me so much joy every morning. I mean, look at all these colors. That's super, super fun. Now, my ultimate goal is to go all the way back to where the headliner starts, because now that the curtain isn't cutting it off, like right here, I could go all the way back. That's gonna take a while. That's gonna take a while, but considering I've only been on the road, these are just from whenever I started out with Riley and then going into what I've been doing more recently, I'm making a pretty good dent. Part of that is because so many people think that all the patches need to be huge. Let me show you. For example, the Buffalo Bill Center up here. This guy is big. Most of the patches that I was getting were like this size, but Buffalo Bill here is kind of the standard for a lot of patches for some reason right now. I don't know if they're cheaper for people to make or what the deal is, but these are huge. Unfortunately, what happens is it doesn't make it look as cool on the ceiling if everybody has those. So I'm having to look twice as hard to find differing sizes so they're not just like one huge conglomerate of, oh, look at this big patch, look at this big patch. I do need to find a Montana patch because I don't have one of those yet. And then I'm going to get some whenever I travel. I don't know that I'm going to do very much in Butte realistically. There's lots of stuff to do here, but I'm more so using this as like a hub city this time. I may come back. I do want to get to Kalispell though, but I definitely need this day to just decompress first, because once I get there, I'm not sure if we have activities planned or if I'm just going to hang out a couple days with them, or if I'm just going to see them and kind of go in passing. I'm not sure. I do not know. I have no idea what's going on with them, and I don't want to like impede in their lives, but they do have a really cool campground, and so I want to show you guys that. And then it's really close to Glacier National Park, so for the first time I am going to try to go to Glacier. If it works out, we're gonna have a real good time. If it doesn't work out, we're not gonna get sad because we're still gonna have a real good time. But with that said, I do not see a cart return anywhere in this area, so I can't see if there is a trash can. Oh no, we're gonna have to go scouting for a trash can. Bye, Walmart. I may come back. I'm not sure. We'll see how my day goes. Every neighbor was super nice though. I am noticing that they do have trash cans here though. That's good to know for in the morning if I do stay here again. Also, something just fell. I think I know what it was. It'll be fine. Let's go get this gas. It looks like gas is $3.49 here. Yep, sure enough, exactly what I thought fell. I'll have to fix that in a minute. $34.69 today. Okay, it was pretty empty. Of course I want my receipt so I can scan it. More points. Is she perfect? No. Can I see better though? Yeah. Absolutely not acceptable. Disgusting. But I don't want to do a car wash right now, so it just is what it is. Well, the rim is nasty, but the panel's okay, so I guess we're fine. At some point, I will give it a good bath. Not now, not now. I was looking at the casino sign and I noticed something beside it. That thing, that box, that is pretty neat. I'm assuming they have an art project here to do this like they do in some cities. This is really cool. That was more than I thought it was gonna be when it came to how much it cost for the gas. However, at the same time, I kind of estimated that it was gonna be on the higher side simply because I only had 2 bars and realistically it was almost just 1 bar, which I never do. However, whenever I was in Bozeman, I was going to pull off at a gas station, but it was on the opposite side and it was difficult to get to because of the construction that they were doing there. So I was like, I'm fine. I have plenty to get where I'm going. And then sure enough, I did. So I was fine. Normally I don't like to cut it that close, but you know, last night was it was a weird night. This part of Butte is more so like a business district. So they have lots of restaurants and regular businesses, which makes sense. I was staying in Walmart, right next to like an auto dealership. Cool. Oh, they have a city brew coffee also, which is basically like a Starbucks, except not. I found one of those when I was in Cody, and it was really good. Everyone was super nice. The only issue is I have a gift card for Starbucks. I don't have one for City Brew. Otherwise, I would go there because they have some different drinks. Everything else looks very similar, though. It's really weird. But exceptional coffee. If you ever see one, go check it out. They're really good and really nice. And they have Wi-Fi also. So if you can't find a Starbucks and you're looking for a place to work and there's a City Brew, you got a solution. I made it to Starbucks, but I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna go inside and make sure there's a spot to sit first, and then I'm going to get my stuff. After a full work day, it's 104 in the van. It is pretty warm. I was super successful with editing, not so successful with uploading though. Whenever I was uploading, for some reason their Wi-Fi was not great. I was able to upload 1 video and I was here literally for a full work day, like at least 6 hours. So that's not the greatest uploads. But that's life on the road sometimes. So I'm trying something else. I'm using my phone right now to see if I can connect and maybe upload at least a couple of them this evening. But I am tired. I'm going to go, I think, to the Dollar Tree if I can find it and stop off and get some more things for the freezer before I hit the road tomorrow. Just some small stuff, make my life a little bit easier. I've already gotten fuel and I'm pretty beat. I could go into the Walmart. Also, I could probably use a couple things, but I don't know exactly what those are, so that might be an in the morning thing, but today has been a day. I also checked in with my parents. They went to Meow Wolf. I'm so excited for them. My mom hadn't been to the one in Texas, and so she got to go today, so that was pretty cool. And I was able to send them a bunch of photos from my travels, so it's always nice to let people know what's going on and say hi, and that was fun. Oh, I'm tired though, so now that my brain is scrambled eggs, I'm gonna go to the Dollar Tree and then I guess back to the Wally World. Still have plenty of daylight to work with, so I may end up working a little bit more in the van while my battery's charged. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Okay, I think I'm losing my mind. I couldn't find the Dollar Tree and I pulled it up on the map and it said it was in the opposite direction, but I was like, no, I saw a Dollar Tree. But then I just found the Dollar Tree and it was in this direction, but I do not think this one is open. I think it's a brand new one. So I am about to try to turn around and find out. Am I quite frankly doing the most? Yeah, but guess who has time? I always have time. Always I have time. If I do not have time for something, it is because I have made it a point to not have time for it. Because there is always time. Okay, I made it. Now the question is, are they actually open? They are not open. Okay. So there will be no Dollar Tree for me. I'm kind of sad, but it does make sense. So I guess instead of going to the good old Dollar Tree, I'll either have to map out a different Dollar Tree, which, you know, I could do that, or I'll just go to the Walmart. I'm not saying Walmart's bad. I'm just saying I had a good thing going here with the Dollar Tree and the little frozen foods. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, you know, I had the time though. I had the time. Okay, we're gonna lock up again, go into Walmart. The matter is, I could use a good walk around. I sat for a long time today, so I'll walk around, I'll look for some things. Maybe I'll find some of those little breakfast sandwiches. They're probably gonna cost more. Finished up over at Walmart over there, and I got a few things. Tonight I'm gonna be camping next to this little barrier, and then there's a field behind me. So I got a few things. I took inventory of some stuff earlier, and I realized I needed deodorant, so I got some more, and then I got a few other little things that I needed before I hit the road again. So I'm all stocked up with everything I could possibly need, which is good, because I would really prefer not to buy anything else for a bit. I looked at their produce section, and their produce section was pretty picked over today. I'm not sure if it's because they just haven't gotten restocked, or if today was just some special reason that everybody just came and got everything. But the grapes, all of the grapes that I looked at were just shrivelly looking. There weren't very many left, and the ones that were shrivelly. And then I was talking to Riley, and she was talking about fried green beans, and I was like, ooh, those looked kind of not great either. There were only 2 little baggies of them, and the entire rest of the section was gone. It's right after a weekend, so maybe they just haven't got everything back in. I have no idea, but yeah, so I just got a few small things, and well, maybe down the road somewhere I'll check out another store and I'll pick up some other things for snacks, because I really like to snack on grapes, but not if they're shrivelly. But for now I have 2 patches to put up, and I am tired. Been keeping my patches in this little brown bag. It seems to do me pretty good, because then it doesn't cause a glare on the windshield. So I'm going to keep this and just put it right back into place where it goes. And then I need to peel the backings off of these 2 for Teton and also the National Elk Refuge. And that way I can be completely up to date on all of my patches. And then I can start proceeding forward with the next step, which is collecting some more. Step, of course, is the Velcro, and I still have plenty of that from my last Walmart stop. So I'm just gonna kind of work my way from the end, and this shouldn't be too hard. There's only 2 of them, and so I'll just find places for them and cut accordingly, and that's my last task with the creative stuff, at least. Okay, there they are, and I know that it would make more sense to do a line, but I'm trying to vary the shapes quite a bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and work my way into the headliner so I can do that, and then it'll make it more fun. And then I'll start filling in over here and then over there as I go with different shapes. I think the best thing I can do is just keep working with it and moving things around and finding odd patches. And maybe not all of them will be ginormous round circles, because that's really boring. But also, so are the rectangles. They're just plain rectangles are pretty boring too. So I prefer the interesting looking ones. So I'm going to keep my eye out for as many of the interesting ones as I can. And I'll just keep on going. And then I have a little bit of real estate right up here where I could put a couple also. And if I do fill that in eventually with something, it has to be something kind of important. So maybe those are bucket list style patches. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Some days seem like a long time whenever you sit and just have to be in one place. This isn't my normal style of how I like to be, but every so often, it's just kind of how it is.